A very good day to you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Candid Talk here on Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Evan Sokinyi. It's always my pleasure to have you on board on Kenya's most comprehensive political and public governance analysis show. Definitely, I'm talking about the Candid Talk. I'm here with my resident guest, Wakili Willis Otieno. After such a long time, the deputy party leader of Safina Party is back with us. Wakili, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
How are the goings at your party?
Safina Pesa.
Safina Pesa.
The Party of Economic and Social Advancement. Safina Pesa. Safina Pesa.
The Party of Economic and
Social Advancement.
Social Advancement.
Yes.
That is the party that you're talking about here.
Yes.
Do you have candidates for the by-elections that are coming around?
Yes, we have some candidates in some by-elections, which we strategically chose. And we do believe that the people of Kenya are going to make a choice as to what it is that they desire. And that's an ongoing conversation. In fact, many other people are showing interest in joining the party. And Safina is having that conversation with them to show them the path of what Safina stands for. And anybody who is interested in joining the Safina ACK, they are welcome.
Including me here.
Even yourself, you're welcome. Safina is about the economic and social advancement of the people of Kenya, to create a holistic society that focuses on the individual, not systems, not the powerful, the mighty. No, it's about the individual, guaranteeing the individual a life of dignity. And economic empowerment.
Economic and social advancement, that is the conversation that we are having right now. Looking at the country, we've seen our president of late, and especially ever since the passing on of Baba Raila Odinga, and especially during the last day of the Mashujaa celebrations that were held there in Kitui, you had the kind of dreams that the president was talking about. And is he saying here, look, we must then industrialize, we must make sure that we change this country. He's dreaming of taking Kenya from the third world country that we had to a first world country. That is President William Ruto's dream, telling us how other countries have done it anyway. And of course, he's gone outside there and even making statements. The other time he was there speaking to people outside the country, talking about the kind of problems that we have here with regards to electricity and everything, and what needs to be done so that we industrialize and get ourselves moving forward. First of all, how do you weigh in on the president's sentiments regarding his dream for this particular country?
You know, the first thing that we must say
is
that the current challenges the Kenyan people are facing, you're struggling with even feeding yourself. Forget about industrialization. Start with just feeding yourself. Many Kenyans are not able to access a decent meal in a day. And why are we in this state? We're in this state because of the economic policies that William Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta adopted. What has led us here? So for somebody to start discussing the industrial agenda in Kenya, and you have a citizenry that cannot even feed itself, are you seeing the disconnect? He goes out as president to make a declaration that we are doing load shedding every day from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. There's load shedding. So how are you going to attract foreign direct investments? A country that cannot sustain its power supply. How? Because you're already advertising to the rest of the world that we have a power problem. And if energy is a source factor of production, and already you have a problem with meeting your national needs, nobody's going to bring the...
Indeed, it's true, Wakili, that we have got power issues in the country. But then what the president said there was not actually true anyway.
No, I'm saying what he said. He's advertised it.
Yes.
The question of whether it's true or not, I'm not his advisor. But he's the one who said it. I didn't say it. He's the one who said it publicly. So are you saying he didn't say it?
He said it.
So if you said it, let's discuss that.
But
the number one.
But it wasn't factual.
The fact is, he's the number one ambassador of the country.
Yes.
So if the number one ambassador has stood up to publicly tell you,
yes,
I'm having this load shedding. So you're an investor sitting somewhere in a foreign country. You're going to say that man is lying. They don't have load shedding. Let me go and risk my capital in that country. You can't. Yeah, you've been forewarned. He's told you this is the problem. And when you say it's not true, I'm sorry. Maybe there's no load shedding happening in your residence. But go to several parts of this country every evening. People are having serious power challenges. Some towns don't even have power for even 3 days. And you're here saying that it's not true. It's not factual. Say, lucky you. You're not affected by load shedding. But if you told that to somebody in Siaya, where power disruption is a constant every day, they look at you and say, you're not serious. Yeah? So it's true. What is our megawatts production? How much are we producing in terms of megawatts? How much are we consuming? It's negligible. We produce around 3,000, they consume around 2,800. So, in terms of surplus, it's negligible. And that 3,000 is not even stable. That is how he ends up having load shedding.
Okay, so we get to that particular idea where he talks of that, and of course his big dream of trying to industrialize and get there. What then does it actually take for us to realize this particular dream? Because the president is talking of we need to do these things right, but you're here saying at the same time that, look, we are dealing with a citizen that cannot even feed itself. At the same time, the opposition is accusing the president of totally messing the economy.
But it's very simple. It's the economic policy of the administration that are leading us to where we are. And in fact, in terms of industrialization, it's not government that industrializes. It's the people. It's the private sector. Right? We moved away from welfare states or communist states where the state comes up with its own mega industries. Our economy, as adopted in the constitution, if you look at it, it's a free market economy. So why are people not setting up industries in the country? Why are industries closing down? What policies are they implementing that are making industries to close down, that are not contributing to the growth of industry in this country? That's what we should be discussing. Where are the numbers shrinking? They're not discussing that.
Okay.
That's why, Safina, we are very clear. We know, number one, the main problem that industry faces is access to capital. And why is industry not able to access capital? People with ideas to industrialize are not able to access capital. Why? The number one hindrance is that government is borrowing from the domestic market at high interest rates. When the private sector goes to the same market, they are not able to access cheap credit. Their interest rates are high, between 15 to 25%. That is right there, an unperforming loan. So if government stopped borrowing from the domestic market, that money will be available to the private sector, the individual, you and I, to borrow. And we can apply it to industrialization. So access to capital is key.
Okay.
Number two, you look at the levies and charges, taxes government levies on enterprise. When you look at the total list of levies that government is coming up with on your cost production, you walk into the market when you're not competitive. You are hindered. Your market access is limited. So look at that. Then number three, even if you are to produce, do you have a ready market? The people you are targeting to sell to your produce, do they have consumption power?
Okay.
Do they have the buying power? The economy has shrunk. Kenyans are barely surviving. They don't have that buying power. Why? Because government is raising taxes on them, levies and charges every day. It's raiding their pockets every day. So even if you are to produce, you access capital and produce, you will not be able to sell in the domestic market.
Okay.
So that's why, Safina, we are very clear. We must give people an instant relief. And we are saying VAT is 16% to go away. That benefits the industry and benefits the consumer. We only introduce a 5% sales tax. So that automatically everybody gets an instant relief of 11% reduction. That money is released into the consumer's pocket. The consumer has more disposable income. If the industry is producing at a lower cost as well, they are able to get what the industry is consuming. Can William Ruto have that kind of a conversation? Or even David D? They can't. They can't. So you're not going to grow the economy or industry using platitudes. You must take tangible action. There must be tangible action and measures that you are taking that are aimed to build that sector. I've not seen any.
You see, we're looking at the economic situation in the country with the kind of dreams that are, of course, I began here by saying here that our president is dreaming of making this country first world country. And of course, that is why he was bringing in things to do with industrialization and, of course, the part that power plays in therein. But that aside, you've also brought in what we call access to capital. Are people able to get capital so that they actually engage in serious and meaningful businesses through which they can earn a living? And recently we've seen the kind of interventions that the government is trying to make in conjunction with several other financial bodies, of course. Recently, leave alone the Hustler Fund aside, we've got now the new program, Nyota program, where a number of our young people are involved and they are being given money to do business. At least that's what the government is saying here, that they've been advised not to misuse that particular money. We've seen these funds being dispersed, and of course several other matters like the World Bank are partnering with government to ensure that the young people are given access to capital. How would you weigh in on this particular thing? Is it actually going to change the kind of situation that we are in as a country, and especially of the young people who are at the center of the problem that we are in as a country?
Okay.
Yes.
I believe you're in the country when Hustler Fund was launched. If you take the statements that were being made when they were doing Hustler Fund and the statements they are making when they are doing Nyota, is there any difference?
No big difference.
If Hustler Fund was meant to address that problem, why did it address it? You think you'll give somebody 25,000 and then they're able to now, the country is able to grow economically. The industry will grow. I mean, let's be serious. If in a ward you're giving 70 young people 25,000, take a ward. A ward that has 40,000 residents, you've given 70 young people only 25,000. That 25,000, how much are they going to spend in terms of producing? How much are they paying in terms of taxes, levies, and charges on their 25,000? It will not work. Let's not lie to each other. It will not. And even the numbers that you are targeting, if you are doing 70 young people per ward, a ward has 40,000 people. What happens to the remaining number, who are the majority anyway? You think you're going to grow this economy and grow industry by giving young people 25,000? I mean, let's be serious. Compare that, and it's good. I mean, it's good that he's starting the conversation about the economy. It's good to have it. That is his proposal as Kenya Kwanza. We'll give young people 25,000 to industrialize, right? Safina Party, we are saying, we'll stop borrowing from the domestic market. Government has borrowed from the domestic market 6.8 trillion at high interest rates. We will stop that borrowing. Interest rates will fall to 3%. That money, 6.8 trillion, will be available to the market, private sector, at lower interest rates, or even 3%, 4%. And available to every Kenyan to go to the bank and borrow. At 3%, you borrow 1 million Kenya shillings, you're paying 30,000 shillings only in a year as interest. What can't you do? So they will give you 25,000 grant to run for a year. We will give access to capital at 3% interest rate from the domestic banks, 1 million. You're paying 30,000 Kenya shillings per year. Between those two scenarios, what can grow an economy? You understand?
I do understand.
So even if you are to pick a young man from Homa Bay who lives by the lake, you've given him 25,000. Go and do fish farming. Feeds alone, setting up the cages. What will 25,000 do? But if that young man has access to 1 million credit from the bank at 3% interest rate, the same young man goes into the lake with his 1 million. He'll be able to put up the cages, buy the fingerlings, right? Buy the feeds. And he's only paying 30,000. In 6 months' time, he has a bumper harvest of fish. So 25,000 is what? How are you going to grow industrially? So it cannot. Those are just.
So it therefore means that even all these kind of programs that the government is trying to bring in do not actually solve the access to capital problem that we have in the country.
It cannot. And that's why I'm saying the difference between us and Safina and legacy politicians. Legacy politicians think tokenism will work to try to hoodwink gullible Kenyans, cover their eyes, mislead them, make them happy, excitable. But tangibility, tangible. What can you do? Yeah. You have access to capital at 1 million, 3% interest rate, and you have access to 25,000 shillings, one-off payment. What will change your life as a young person? Even if you have to do an SME, With 1 million shillings access to capital at 3% interest rate, I assure you that young man can put up his fish cage and run that cage until harvest. Fish matures in 6 months, thereabouts. With 25,000 Kenya shillings, that young man will not even be able to put up a single cage. He will not be able to buy feeds. So what will he do? Go and cook mandazi and chapati? So all of them become mandazi cookers. So we must have a genuine conversation, and it's important Kenyans interrogate this. The only good thing is that at least we are now discussing the economy, we're discussing issues. So we compare the ideas. As I always told you, this competition is a competition of ideas. Let the best idea win. When the best idea wins, it is the Kenyan people who benefit, not individuals. That is where Safina is.
You're talking of we should have a genuine conversation. Are you saying here that the current regime is not doing that with the people?
So if you believe that giving a young man 25,000 Noma Bay to do business, as opposed to allowing that young man to access credit facilities, 1 million at 3% interest rate, that the first will change his life, good luck. I believe otherwise.
I don't believe so. I'm just
No, I've just said I believe otherwise.
because I'm looking at the situation on the ground and how people are actually reacting to this. But of course, what's actually true is that, of course, the president is a politician, and it's like tokenism for him is a currency here. Now the question is, will it actually pay that particular price?
But this is the conversation you're having. This is the
Yes.
conversation you're having with Kenyans. If Kenyans want tokenism, legacy politicians are there in plenty. They can vote for them, no problem. But if you want real conversation about changing people's lives, empowering people, creating an economically thriving environment, Safina is here. No problem. So it's a competition of ideas. And I know Kenyans are sensible. Why would they go to tokenism when they can change their economic outlook? Safina is here. But if they want that one also, it's okay. It's a democracy. Let the best ideas win. The ultimate beneficiary should be the people of Kenya, not individuals. But legacy politicians will wish they are in that space.
Well, let's wait and see what happens then. Meanwhile, the dream for President William Ruto, or is it a dream or a reality? Maybe we are here to stay, and we'll actually have a look at everything that is taking place in this country. President is promising to make it a first world country. At least that is what he says. But if he's given another term in 2027, then he'll do all he can to ensure that the country is on the right economic trajectory. And before he leaves, that the country will move, rather hope, from the third world country that we are in to a first world. And of course, I wonder how he'll do that. Time will tell. Ladies and gentlemen, weigh in and tell us what you actually think. Allow me to stop for now. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of this family. Till we have this conversation again, have a good day. My name is Evans Okini.